Now, big news of the day, hot off the press, less than 2 hours old. Hulkenberg, as you can see in the background there, is driving for Racing Point in place of Perez. Hello and welcome to the Pit Crew podcast. This weekend is the British Grand Prix, the first of two, although the next one is called the 70th Anniversary Grand Prix, just like we had different names for the ones in Austria. Now, big news of the day, hot off the press, less than 2 hours old. Hulkenberg, as you can see in the background there, is driving for Racing Point in place of Perez, who sadly has got coronavirus. Of course, we wish him the speediest recovery. It's unfortunate for him. He's got a good chance this year of scoring some podiums, getting some good points, doing well for the team. It's just unfortunate for him, but of course we wish him the speediest recovery. Now, the British Grand Prix, always special, home of motor racing, first Grand Prix all those years ago in 1950, was held here. Good track. I like playing it on the F1 game. I think a lot of drivers like it. Maggots and Beckett's some of the favourite complex of corners for some drivers. Always very special, as I've said, and it usually produces quite an interesting race, especially if we have a wet to dry to wet or similar sort of race, knowing the British weather. Now, it is very, very hot as of recording, so I don't think we're going to be having one of those if it stays the same over the weekend, but we are recording just as FP1 is live. We are not looking at the results to cheat. But anyway, we have to predict who is going to be fastest over the race weekend. I think it's going to be, as always, shootout between the Mercs and the Red Bulls. The Red Bulls, they want to do well here. It's Silverstone. It's their home GP. I suppose you could argue that Austria is as well, but Silverstone's class their home GP. They're usually quite decent here, but Hamilton is dominant, so the Mercedes are of course going to be up there, and there's going to be the battle that's now quite normal for between the Racing Points. Maybe Stroll is going to be leading the fight, because otherwise that'd be really embarrassing if he was beaten by a driver who's never driven the car. And between the McLarens, shout out to Lando's helmet designed by a 6-year-old. I think that's very, very nice. Anyway, Dylan, do you have anything to say on the team performance?
I think Mercedes will still be up there as usual. I reckon the McLaren, because it's their home GP, I think they'll be able to do something for the crowd.
Yeah, what crowd, Dylan?
Oh wait, on TV, watching TV.
Yeah, the TV crowd. The
TV crowd.
Forget we ever said that. Now, the British GP last year, we had some good battles, and Hamilton won. I think he's one of the most successful drivers of all time there. Hopefully we have another very exciting race this year. It'd be nice to have another one like Austria, although I think the first Austrian Grand Prix was it's just amazing. Not much can beat that. I think that might win Race of the Year this year. Anyway, we have to predict qualifying. My top 5 for qualifying: Hamilton, home GP, he loves it here. He's always ruthlessly quick. Verstappen second, although I could think it could be Bottas, but I'm leaning more towards Verstappen just because he's going to be determined to do well here, and so is Red Bull. Bottas third. As I said, that could be switched with Verstappen, but I've chosen Bottas third. Carlos Sainz fourth. It's just the McLaren fan part of me hoping that we could get something special here in Silverstone. And then Albon fifth. Now, Dylan, do you have anything to say on my predictions, how wacky or not they are?
I have different ones to you, way more different. I have Lewis, which is the same as you, first. I chose Bottas instead of Max second, and Max is third. I went for Stroll and the other Brit, Lando, in fifth. So I think he'll be able to do it.
Yeah, Lando, scenario 7. Last lap, well. Lando last lap Norris. That helmet will give him an extra second as well. Now onto the race. Sunday, it'd be nice to see Hulkenberg. It'd be really really funny if this was the race where he got his first podium. But I don't think he will, just because it's not really viable due to the fact he hasn't driven the car at all. This is his testing today, so I don't think so. The race, looking at the weather forecast, 20 degrees, sunny, 10% chance of rain, so pretty much definitely going to be a dry race over there at Silverstone. But I think that Lewis is going to win because he loves it here, as I said. Bottas is going to pick Verstappen to second place, and Albon hopefully will get his long-deserved podium, as long as he does come together with Hamilton in some unique way once more. Dylan, what are your predictions for the podium this weekend?
I've chosen in first place, I put Lewis, as it's home GP, and he's won it a few times. And I put Valtteri in second, and hopefully Lando in third. Because
he
just seems really fast this season, getting his first podium in Austria.
Yeah.
Hopefully he can do it again in his home GP with his special helmet.
It'd be really nice for him to do that. Anyway, I think that was going to round off the predictions for this weekend. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. I've forgotten half the stuff to predict. Very sorry there. We need to predict fastest lap next. This is a pretty easy one. I'm just going to go with my winner, Hamilton. Presume same for you, Dylan?
No, Stroll.
Interesting.
Pink Mercedes.
Yeah, of course. Now, my biggest disappointment of the race, I'm not going to go with the Ferraris, because if we keep saying Ferrari all season long, everyone will get bored of us saying Ferrari. Ferrari, it's not a disappointment anymore. It's just, Ferrari have done badly. Disappointment, maybe Hulkenberg not getting his long-deserved podium. Albon, Orlando not getting a podium. Nice to see those guys. They've got cars that could technically compete for them. And I'm going to say, though, my biggest disappointment will be the Williams just missing out on a point once more. Their race pace is nowhere near as good as their qualifying pace, and it'd be great to see them get a podium, or not podium. That'd be a surprise, some points. But I just think, knowing them, they won't get one. Dylan, biggest disappointment of the weekend for you?
Biggest disappointment? I think I agree with you. I can't think of anybody else who could be a disappointment apart from the usual two.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure on this one.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Biggest surprise. I mean, the Racing Points getting a podium could be a bit of a surprise. Hulkenberg getting a podium could be a surprise. There's quite a couple of contenders for a surprise. You know, another McLaren podium, Albon getting a podium, Hamilton not winning. I'm going to go that the biggest surprise this weekend will be McLaren on the podium once more. Dylan, what are your predictions?
My biggest surprise, I think, at Hulkenberg, because he's in Perez's car. I think he will have a chance, hopefully getting his podium after like 10 years.
Yeah. And finally, will there be a safety car? Yes, no question. Very quick. No, it's not usually a safety car at Silverstone. It's quite a spread out large track. So, no, I'm going that there probably won't be a safety car. I presume that you will agree with that, Dylan?
Yes, I agree with you.
Yeah. And now that actually does bring us to the end of our British Grand Prix predictions for this time. Not a false alarm like last time. All that's left to do is for us to sit back, relax, watch the results, and we will be back with you on Monday to compare our results and talk about the race. In the meantime, hope you all stay safe, stay cool, and before we go, I'd just like to apologise for that background. I've been looking at that for the last however long I've been recording for, and Hulkenberg's eyes,
he's got his game face on.
They start to stare into your face. Yeah, he's got his game face on.
Ready to show what he can do.
Thank you very much for listening. We will see you very soon for the Race Report.